13, Puerto Rico 22, and Belgium 28. I've got some thinking that maybe Belgium should be a little bit higher there, but certainly they'll be able to prove that while they're here at the World Cup. But right now, our attention is on Spain, a team that has reached the Olympic final, that finished runners-up at the last World Cup. Obviously, probably the powerhouse of European basketball, winning the Eurobasket last year, Eurobasket women. That was in the Czech Republic. I'm Jeff Taylor, joined by Shona Thorburn, the former Canada international, and I've been looking forward to this one all summer. I mean, these two teams will get after each other. They will like to run. This is what basketball should be about, in my opinion, games like this.
Absolutely. I mean, anyone who's watched Spain and watched this women's team, they're so exciting to watch, and they have been for quite a few years now. They're used to some hardware around their necks, and we're going to see that tonight, and I really think they're going to feed off the crowd. But then again, you covered the Asian Cup championships last summer, so you got to see this Japanese team. And talking earlier, you said they're exciting. I mean, they run, they kind of play a little similar style. They're obviously not as strong and as tall in the post, but these women can shoot the ball, and they're quick.
Yeah, you know what? Manami Fujioka, for me, was probably the single most exciting basketball player that I watched last summer. And I watched a lot of tournaments, and she was great. But
the little point guard for Japan,
the point guard for Japan, who just really tore apart China in their semifinal. Lucas Mandelo in Spain, they know all about her. And they're not going to change how they want to play their game. They're going to want to run. And I just think it's going to be a beautiful game to watch.
Yeah, you know, I saw on the FIBA .basketball website, go to the World Cup link, and there's a great video about what to check out, you know, what's happening before the tournament started. And Lucas Mandelo was interviewed, and he said, our most important game is this first one. This Japanese team is really good. They're very scary. And he goes, basically, they're happy to be playing at home because they're going to be able to feed off the crowd, because he's a little worried about this team. So when I would say probably one of the best coaches in the women's game right now is saying that about his opponents. It's a sign that you need to respect them, and they're good.
Absolutely. Don't forget, Spain's men hosted the FIBA Basketball World Cup in 2014 and lost to France in the quarterfinals. They rolled through the group phase, round of 16, but then when it came to crunch time, perhaps the pressure was too much. But anyway, we're going to pause for the national anthems of both teams.
Y ahora, por favor, todos en pie con nosotros, el himno nacional de España.
National anthems, always a great part of the game. And Spain and Japan shake hands now, and they're about ready to get into each other. And also, we're going to look at the referees for tonight's game. There's Tom Hovas. He seems like he knows what he's doing here with this Japan national team, and that's building towards the Tokyo Olympics as well. Look at this. So we've got Amy Bonner from the USA, Natalia Cuello from the Dominican Republic, and James Alexander Boyer from Australia. So as we get ready to look at the rosters for both of these teams, you know, you posed a question, how do Japan combat perhaps a slight size advantage that Spain have? And Fujioka, number 1, the point guard. Well, they've got number 8, Maki Takada. She will have to play well as the power forward. She starts. Saki Mizushima, Nako Motohashi, Evelyn Mawuli, and Yuki Miyazawa. I think she plays bigger than a small forward. But here is the woman that captured my imagination last year, and I can't imagine there being any more exciting player in international basketball than this young lady.
Yeah, I mean, you look at those stats. Clearly she can score because she's averaging over, you know, she's averaging double figures points, but 8.2 assists a game. It means her teammates are good shooters, but she can facilitate.
Lucas Mandela's Spain, well, you know them all. Ana Cruz, Alba Torrens, Laura Nichols, Silvia Dominguez. But what about Laia Palau getting a chance to play in a World Cup in her homeland? So Aston Indoor, Marta Jargai, Palau, Torrens, and this Torrens is, you know, one of the best players in the world. She has been really for several years, and made her debut actually back in Beijing, wasn't it? The Beijing Olympics.
2008, yeah.
So
MVP awards at Eurobasket, EuroLeague titles.
But we've seen Spain play so many tournaments abroad, and it's fantastic that they get a chance to play at home, because they have been, as their world ranking is not a lie. I mean, it is fact. They are among the best in the world. Tom Hovas, what does he tell his players in a game before a game like this? This is what you live for.
Absolutely. To have an opportunity to play in an almost sold-out gym against the home team on an island in Spain at a World Cup, they don't have anything to lose, and I think they're going to play better because of that. I mean, Japan can put up numbers very, very fast because they are incredibly fast and they're great three-point shooters. So if their shots from the outside are falling, watch out. You know, we talked about Laia Palau, the 39-year-old, the veteran, just like a Kim Gaucher and Ivana Maltzy for Greece, Kim Gaucher for Canada, heart and soul of this team, has been around. Really, she announced her retirement last summer after Eurobasket, after they came home with the gold. And then clearly was convinced to say, hey, one more summer, this is the World Cup in Spain, we need you. And she says, okay, why not?
One glaring absence for Japan, Ramu Tokoshiki, and another Yuka Osaki, formerly known as Yuka Mamiya. Two great players in their Asia Championship winning sides, also the side that played at the Olympics in 2016. But there was no Takashiki last year as well, and they still got the job done. Well, good evening, folks. If you're just joining us, this is the FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup, and we are in Tenerife, Spain, the Canary Islands. Spain hosting this competition, and Mizushima picks up an early foul. Now, she's the player who hit 7 of 9 three-pointers in the final last year, the FIBA Women's Basketball Asia Cup.
after only averaging 8 points. I mean, she came away averaging 8 points after that great performance where she had over 30 points. But so keep in mind, that means she didn't really score much before that final.
She was like a secret weapon. There's the pass inside to Indoor. She misses, and Laura Nichols gets the offensive rebound. And already the question that you asked about how do they contend with the size down low, well, that is not a good start.
No, they just sort of lobbed it up. I think how you prevent that is, Astu Endor thought she made that. She started running back on defense. You need to put more ball pressure up so you can't have an easy entry pass like that. And Japan is very capable of putting ball pressure on the guards of Spain.
Interesting that Fujioka doesn't start in this game for Japan. Instead, it's Motohashi who brings the ball up the court. Takada. Here's Mizushima. She will launch it. Well, he gets inside, slips a little bit. Mawuli, this time a little reverse layup. And Japan, look at that. They take a 2-1 lead. Here's Alba Torrens. Born to thrill. Misses with her short little jumper.
And you talked about the point guard, Motohashi. She actually didn't play last summer. And that's why Japan had to go another direction.
And Alba Torrens just a little bit of perhaps out of control there, thinking she was going to get a foul called. And you can see the attention. Here was Mawuli's reverse layup. And that's a great sign from her as well. You know, everybody's been talking about Mawuli.
She's only 23.
And now it looks like she's going to get her chance.
2020, she's going to be playing for Japan in the Olympics.
Another coming down the little backdoor baseline cut.
But, you know, Japan are so deadly from the three-point line. So, you know, you're kind of, okay, deny, don't let them catch anything, you know, around the three-point line. And maybe...
There's Torrens right down the paint. Motohashi gets it over to Takada. And another jump shot. Well, the first jump shot, in fact. So Mizushima with 4 points, and that is a good sign for Japan. Interesting that she's getting looks here. And Indoor brought it down, and Motohashi reached in and was able to tie her up. What's that they say about the bigs? If you lower the ball, you become as short as your opponent.
And, you know, again, it was kind of an easy lob. Like you said, I think Astu tried to dribble when she probably shouldn't have. But you need to put ball pressure on Alba Torrens. You can't let her make an easy entry like that, or it's going to put your post defense in a difficult situation, because Astu does have such an advantage, height advantage over the Japanese defense.
Motohashi, good first step, and then blocked from behind by Palau, the Spanish great. Marta Jargai gets it over to Nichols, and Takada comes down with it. Motohashi almost turned that one over. Mizushima tried to get it to Takada, but it was read by Jargai. Now Takada takes it away.
I think that's a good call by Japan to kind of slow it down, run an offense.
Mizushima, excuse me. Yeah, that was Mizushima. Miyazawa. That was Miyazawa. And now, foul called on Indoor.
Yeah, you know, as the coach says, you have to bump the cutter, and that's what Japan did. You'll see here, she kind of bumps her, and Astu has her head up because she's looking at the ball. I maybe would have let it go, and it would have been an out of bounds, and it would have been the ball for Japan anyway. But that's what coaches say, bump the cutter. And they got to slow down Astu, not get her any easy looks inside the paint. So good job by the guard there.
Yep, that's how you combat the size issue. Well, another turnover right into the hands of Jargai. And she goes hard to the basket and misses the layup. The following is Indoor. And now Motohashi loses her feet, and I think we're going to see Rui Machida come into the game. And now the jump shot from Indoor and Spain take the lead. I'm starting to wonder if Fujioka might be ill or something. Good hands from Laia Palau. So Rui Machida comes in. And full-scale substitutions here. But still no Hijima. Also, Ana Cruz comes in for Spain, as does Cristina Uvina, number 5. Remember, Cruz hit that famous game-winning shot against Turkey at the death, really, at the quarterfinals of the Olympics, 2016. Spain went on to reach the final. Here's Machida, goes up with the left hand, and good offensive rebound. Traveling, however, on Nagaoka. So that foul on Miyazawa. So that's 2 fouls on her. Himawari Akaho's number 88. She's in for Spain, as is number 99, Monica Okoye. Cruz for 3. Get it! That's more like it for Spain.
What a great job. I mean, Cristina Uvina was just aggressive going to the basket, found Cruz. I mean, these two people just checked into the game, and they've already contributed.
Okoye, good first step. And that's not bad coming right off the bench. Jargai. Machida takes it down low, back out to Takada. And that time Machida just didn't put enough on it. Uvina over to Cruz. Jargai pulls up, and another jumper for her. Spain with their biggest lead of the game.
And you know, if they've scouted this team, which I'm sure Japan has, you know Marta Jargai is a shooter. You can't let her come off the screen with any kind of an opening.
Okay, so Jargai is going to catch a breather, and Maria Arrojo is going to come in for her. But before that, we're going to have a timeout.
You know, you see Laura Nichols coming off Marta Chargai there on the bench, and they seem a little gassed. And I think that's the speed that this Japanese team plays at. And that's kind of their advantage. That's what they need to do. They need to just push them, run. I know they're not really scoring a lot, but they're still getting it, and they're still making maybe Spain play a little faster than they're used to and then they want to play.
And Fujioka is going to come into the game now, 7 minutes into the contest. So Spain, I don't know, just thinking out loud here, maybe Japan playing that quick tempo, and now it's going to get even quicker. 4 turnovers for each team so far. Look at the points off turnovers. Spain capitalizing more. Jargai giving Spain this early advantage with those 2 jump shots. Both she and Indoor have 4 points. Cruz hit that 3 coming off the bench.
So we see Japan come out of the timeout into a zone.
Uvina now puts up a 3, and Takada, no, Fujioka. Here she is looking to make, that's a tough assignment for Arrojo. And Arrojo, though, gets a swat. A great defense from Arrojo. And Laura Gill in there with the face mask. Also. Ravina drives and banks it in.
I'm a big fan of Cristina Uvina. Maybe people don't really know who she is because she hasn't had a lot of opportunities with the senior team. You know, she's been in their qualifier games. This might be her debut at a major international event with them, and you know, plays professionally.
Put him in a spin cycle. Look at that. Okoye
plays professionally in Bourges, and she can really do everything. I think she's a very traditional point guard in the fact that she likes to run it, set her teammates up, but she can also score. So she has a lot of facets to her game.
Yep. Laura Gill. I think that's a shot that Japan will not mind Spain taking. And now Uvina fouls Manami Fujioka. Look at this spin move. And Gill probably,
nice finish also.
Gill possibly fortunate.
Got away with a foul.
Was called, yeah.
The joys of replay. We get to see everything.
Fujioka falls down. Her pass intercepted. Uvina bounced pass to Laura Nichols. Laura Nichols got underneath the basket.
Yeah, I think instead of turning the ball over, she's tried to, well, actually, wasn't a shot or a pass?
I think she was just trying to keep it in bounds. Well, 3-point attempt from Aruno Nemoto. Cruz. Laura Gill. That's more like it. That's where she's going to beat you.
And Laura Gill, she's kind of been a staple for this Spanish team for a while now. She's not a big-time player, but does she ever play her role well? I think she's undersized for a post. Doesn't matter. She plays so well on defense. She's so smart. She really stays within her game.
Boy, a shaky start from Manami Fujioka. Another turnover. Oh, talk about spin cycle. Uvina right at the end of the first quarter. Spain finished strong. They're up 20-10 after one. See the numbers there. Good shooting for both sides, but inside the arc. But obviously Spain with more opportunities. It was looking pretty good. It was looking pretty good there for a while with Japan, and with Spain getting those two Jargai jumpers. They started getting after him.
I know, you know, Japan, they like to push the ball. They kind of like to take risks, but I think 6 turnovers is too much for them. They need to, you know, think about protecting the ball, give themselves, I mean, they're shooting 50%, so when they shoot, half the time it's going in, which is not a bad percentage. So they're just, I think it's the turnovers, not as many second chance opportunities as Spain has.
Spain scoring 9 points after the Japanese turnovers. So that's a problem. Plus, like you said, Japan can very quickly put points on the board.
I mean, Japan is the kind of team that can honestly go 7 for 8 from 3 in a quarter, and the lead is blown. You know, I talked about Japan's turnovers. They did average a little over 16 a game in the Asia Cup last summer, which is kind of high for me. I think that's kind of an area that they really need to work on this tournament leading up to 2020 Olympics in Tokyo that they're going to be hosting.
Well, Fujioka out, and Motohashi's back at the point. Koye again with a drive, this time misses. Spain with a nice lead now, 10 points. And on the baseline, well, she's been a pleasant surprise tonight. Arroyo getting those minutes and making the most of them on both ends of the court. Motohashi with the reverse layup again. Cruz and misses, and Okoye grabs that board. Mawuli, she goes up and scores with a layup.
They're just so incredibly fast. I mean, you can kind of see that, in my opinion, it looks like Spain is getting a little tired. But lucky for them,
they've got
and lucky for Coach Mondello, they have depth.
But now Uvina loses it, and that's almost an unsportsmanlike. Very close.
I thought she also kind of, you know, grabbed her with 2 arms, so.
That's, and we haven't seen, I don't think we've seen the unsportsmanlike today, have we?
No, we haven't.
Any of the games. This was Mawuli just blowing past. And again, Laura Gill reaching in and
maybe getting away with a little one.
This was the other layup.
And you know what I like that I've seen so far from Japan is, you know, traditionally they're very heavy outside shooting, 3-point shooting, long twos team. They're trying to attack the basket.
I'm not sure, but did Palau pull the chair out from under Okoye? Just trying to post up.
Yeah, she kind of hooks her there with her left arm, takes her down a little bit.
And good pressure from Spain, and Motohashi now turns it over. Steps out of bounds. Eight points, the difference in what has really been billed as the most exciting game of the day, or in this case, the night. Now the ball into the hands of Takada. Here she is again, Motohashi. Oh, how in the world, but she didn't make the shot this time. Looked like Palau had her sealed, and again, the ball for an out of bounds turned over by Spain, Jargai.
You see Corel Casas making her debut also for Spain, number 18. Played in the young teams growing up. Now obviously had great training camps, great preparation with this team, and finally made the roster. Not bad, you know, your first time on your home court.
Here's Mawuli, they got to put it up. They don't know. Well, the only one who knew was Nemoto, but by that point it was too late. Machida comes back into the game. Rojo hands it off to Casas. This is her house. And now inside. She puts the pressure on the Spanish defense and draws the foul.
And you know, those of you who have followed Casas and know her career a little bit, that's what she does. She penetrates. She likes to penetrate left. Wouldn't say she's the most talented free throw shooter. Maybe she's worked on it since I've last seen her.
Well, she got that one to fall. 25 years of age.
Plays professionally in France also. She proved me wrong.
Hovas, his team down here against the host nation. Takada spins, puts it up. Nichols, another rebound for her, and and this time Araujo thinking Nichols is going to stay outside or pop outside.
And do you know what it is? I just noticed Marta Chargai is playing the 4 for them. So how versatile is Marta Chargai? I mean, okay, so they just subbed out Arroyo and brought in
she can play 4 positions.
Astu Endor. So, you know, now that's your typical Nichols at 4, Astu at 5. But she was just playing the 4 for them. I mean, talk about a player who can go 1 through 4.
Pass to Mawuli. Okoye for 3. First time we've seen her step outside and shoot it. Palau to Casas. Endor again puts it on the deck, and the Japan are all over like white on rice. Casas again, and rewarded. Good trip to the line.
And you saw Laya giving a little bit of information to Astu Endor, saying, hey, don't put it on the floor. get it, either go up or get it, kick it out, because they're collapsing.
I know you're kind of privately hoping.
She can thank me later. Not at all. I know Cassette very well. She's great. I played with her professionally in France.
4 free throws in a row for her, and that young lady, or man, is happy. Mawuli for 3. Hovas with a slow walk back to the bench to sit down. Shargai, good. Well, she is the master of that mid-range jump shot. And now Japan just throw it away. Mashida tries to pass it to Saki Mizushima. It goes off Mizushima's hands. And this looks like a Japan team that is just completely out of rhythm all of a sudden.
Which is not common. I mean, if you describe Japan basketball, I think they play it in rhythm and at a very high-paced rhythm. So, I think he's asking, why is the point guard inbounding the ball?
2 points off turnovers. And you can see that Hovas speaks Japanese.
He did, I believe, play there professionally after his college career in the U.S. Played there for a long time. I believe he's married to a Japanese woman. Coaches there now in their professional league. Obviously, he was an assistant coach before he took over the head coaching position, so he has been in the program for quite a while now.
Look at this, it's all about the home crowd playing in front of your home fans in a major tournament like this. And you can see how these young fans are really enjoying the moment. When they see this, they want to be Spanish national team players one day. There's Palau over to Nichols, and she was fouled shooting the jump shot by Yuki Miyazawa.
I remember watching, I think it was Canada qualify for the Atlanta Olympics. They hosted the America Championships in
Mizushima, excuse me,
my home city. And so, you know, I was, not to age myself, but a 13-year-old. And it's such a great opportunity for these young fans. I mean, I remember it all these years ago, and it inspired me. It's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be like them. I wanted to go to an Olympics. And I think, you know, these young fans here able to watch their national team, they're inspiring. These women who are playing right now are going to inspire the next generation of Spanish basketball players. And everyone who's tuning in as well. There's young kids watching all over the world these games. And, you know, every day they're inspiring people to chase their dreams.
Wow, right off the bench, Mika Fujitaka says, take that. And they needed something in a big way, as they were down 16 points. Here's Palau for 3, good. Still got it. Anything you can do, I can do better. So many memories of Laia Palau playing basketball. It's incredible.
Maybe not shooting the 3 often, but her passing and just her spirit and her energy that she brought to this Spanish national team for so many years.
Miyazawa misses that one. Although it's interesting you say that, because sometimes it is the 3-pointers that I remember the most. Here's Rui Mashida, drives in, tried to score with the left hand, got too far underneath the basket. Chargai misses.
Rare miss so far from Chargai.
Fujitaka picks up her dribble. Watch out for Okoye. She'll put you in a spin cycle. Fujitaka hands it off to Mashida. Better hurry up. And they broke down offensively on that one. Palau back to Nichols. Let's see if she's added this wrinkle to her game, and didn't look too bad, just rimmed out. Oh, Miyazawa this time spins into the lane. That's got to be a move that they practice in Japan, because they all do it.
You know, they are typically smaller than their competitions, and a spin move is a great way to be able to kind of get that extra step after it, get the defense on your side, and have an opening. So, you know, maybe it is something that they really concentrate. They start teaching at a young age.
Exercise, yeah.
Because you protect the ball, right? When you spin, you know, typically you're spinning around the defense. So.
See the points in the paint? Pretty similar. I have to say, the one, going back to Laia Palau and those three-pointers, the one that I remember the most was 2004 Olympics. Spain were about to lose their first game in the preliminary round to the Czech Republic, and she came down, and at the very last second, a buzzer beater hit a three-pointer to force the overtime. And at that point, they went on to win the game.
I can remember Laia Palau making some absolutely spectacular moves against Canada as well over the course of her career.
Here's Nichols inside. Takada has picked that one up. Fujioka back in the game. So 4 team fouls now on Japan. Any more and Spain will go to the line. Casas drives in. Okoye didn't rebound it. She just batted it over to Casas. Here she is again. Take it, Laia. Nope, not that time. Takada. Takada for 3. Long rebound. Oh, beautiful bounce pass to Takada. And that was Fujioka, possibly her first contribution.
Yeah, and, you know, I think that's a glimpse of what you saw. That was a great job. I think it was a beautiful feed to her post player who set the screen and rolled.
Palau hands it off to indoor. Japan fell asleep inside. Miyazawa rejected by Chargai. Casas. And there, Palau with the offensive rebound.
You know, I understand Japan going to a zone because they're trying to protect their bigs from the inside, but you got to box out in a zone. And I know it's, you know, it is a little bit more difficult because you have to go and find the person. You're not beside anyone, but for Laia Palau, the point guard for Spain, to be able to get in, get an offensive rebound, get fouled, it's a good move by Laia Palau, but that's not what you want defensively if you're Japan.
Yep, that was well articulated. And Palau goes to the line and makes the first one. And Laura Gill, that is a Laura Gill play.
100%.
And look what it does. It gets her team a three-pointer. And they have opened up an 18-point lead on Japan.
I'm surprised. I mean, everyone knows Spain is good.
Oh, nice pass, but then Takada just drops the ball.
But I expected a little bit more out of this Japan team.
Oh, you and me both. Indoor. And now Miyazawa dribbles it off her teammates. Foot. Hovas talking to the referee, believing there was a foul there that wasn't called. So Spain called timeout. 27.2 seconds left, so they'll hold it probably for the last shot, won't they?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, 24-second shot clock, so there'll still be 3 seconds remaining. But if you're Spain, you really want to, you don't want to give Japan an early shot. You don't want to shoot that early. You want to run out the clock, hopefully get 2-3 points going into this halftime to really kind of boost your morale, give all these fans something to cheer about going into half. If you're Japan, you want to play good defense, you want to get a stop, and you want to try and get a score right before half.
It's interesting, isn't it, with Alba Torrens not being a big part of what Spain are doing right now. I mean, she was relatively ineffective when she was in the game. And I don't know if Mondello just figured that, well, maybe she's not a good fit for this game, or whoever came into the game played better. She hasn't been able to get back in.
You know, who knows? She has only played 5 minutes, which is very uncharacteristic. I mean, this is the MVP of Eurobasket last year, right? So maybe something's going on that we don't know about. You know, at these kinds of competitions, they don't tell us if players are injured because they are trying to hide it from all their opponents and their future opponents. So we don't get all the little itty-bitty scoop.
Anna Cruz has got the ball in her hands, guarded by Fujioka. She'll try to take it down to about 8 seconds, presumably, and then she's going to get going. 8, there she goes. The play starts indoor for 3. Oh, and it's going to give Japan a chance to score. Mawuli, though, she's got to hurry. Oh, a travel. Wow. And Hovas looks over at the bench and says, I can't believe that.
I thought she kind of went into the, 1-2 layup to make the pass. 13 turnovers.
Now Spain, with 1.7 seconds remaining, have time. And they throw it over the head of Takada. Indoor catches it. And but not able to score. But nevertheless, Spain in command. 39-21, back to the drawing board for Japan here in Tenerife. So, a lot more opportunities at the free throw line, as you can see, for Spain, and out rebounding them. The turnovers are a problem for Japan.
You know, I think what I'm most surprised about from this Japanese team, they have 13 turnovers and only 2 assists. Last year at the Asia Cup, they averaged 24 assists a game. So, I mean, what's going on? That's not you know, you're used to Japan penetrating and kicking and people knocking down shots. I think they've done a good job of penetrating and getting to the basket, but now maybe it's time to penetrate, kick, knock down some open shots.
Even if Spain going to win this game, I suppose in a way for Hovas, it's like, well, we played the host nation in front of their own fans. You know, he's probably thinking they've still got some time to grow.
I think, you know, the way he's looking at it, he's going, we were set up in this group, which is a tough group. I mean, you have Japan, Spain, Belgium, Puerto Rico. Maybe the weakest team is Puerto Rico out of that group. I can't predict who's going to finish second or third. I'm going to say Spain will finish first. If you're asking me as an expert, I would say I would go with Spain. But between Japan and Belgium, I'm not sure. So I hope, and I think they will, they're going to improve as this tournament goes on. Just like they've improved every year, probably since around 2010. To be honest, I've noticed Japan has improved every year. And now, you know, I mean, Japan beat Australia last summer. And Australia, you know, they had some players on their roster. They didn't send their C team, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
It was different when Australia only had to qualify with the, you know, in the Oceania group,
no,
which meant
Tolo,
they only had to play New Zealand. Yeah, they had Tolo, they had Kayla George.
Kelsey Griffin.
Kelsey Griffin, their naturalized player for them. So, you know, Japan's good. They're better than what they're showing right now.
Well, we're at halftime. It's 39-21. Spain on top of Japan. We'll be right back for the start of the second half.
Señoras y señores, fuerte el aplauso para Crazy Dunkers. Y con nosotros, gracias a Loterías y Apuestas del Estado, event sponsor de la Copa del Mundo Femenino FIBA 2018, os invita a disfrutar con los auténticos maestros del baloncesto, porque Loterías y Apuestas del Estado apuestan por el deporte y nos traen a este loco del balón. Señoras y señores, un auténtico bestia, el mejor streetballer de Europa, se llama Lennon the Lawyer. ¿Y qué nos trae Lennon hoy? Pues un 2 contra 2. Con la compañía de 3 invitadas van a jugar un 2 contra 2 al más puro estilo Street Basket. Verás los trucos que tiene. ¿Qué te apuestas a que la lía? Vamos a calentar motores. A ver, empieza el show. Lennon the Lawyer. Bueno, empezamos bien. Hay que calentar motores, Lennon. Venga, vamos. La primera vez que los ves se te caen hasta los tatuajes. Ahí está con su pareja. Y... ¡Uy! Street Baller. Rasca y pica. Lennon the Lawyer. ¿Te gusta esto, papi? Dame más, nene. Trucos. Recursos. Vamos a ver qué pasa ahora. Un 2 contra 2. Esto es Street Basket. Loterías y Apuestas del Estado. Apostando por el deporte. Ahí está. Combinando con su compañera. Este maestro de la bola, un auténtico malabarista. Ahí está, sí señor. Lennon the Lawyer, desde Madrid para el mundo. Con Loterías y Apuestas del Estado. Nada por aquí, nada por allá. ¿Dónde está la pelotita? Uy. Vamos más, tenemos todavía un minuto, ¿sí? Venga, a ver qué nos regalan estos chicos. 2 contra 2, Street Basket, Lennon the Lawyer, Loterías y Apuestas del Estado apuestan por el deporte. Y es que con este chico nos ha tocado la lotería. ¿Dónde está la bola? ¡Mamma mía! ¡Más madera! ¡Sí! A ver ese aplauso. Una más, Lennon, una más. Una más y nos vamos. Loterías y apuestas del Estado. A ver, están pidiendo que el público aplauda. Vamos, Lennon del Oyer, la última. Venga, a ver. ¿Sí? First shot. ¿En serio? Si la mete la primera, me voy, de verdad. Venga. Vamos a ver. Ahí la tienes, Lennon. Mucha suerte. Ahí va. ¡Wow! Un poco fuerte. Un aplauso para él. Lennon del Oyer. Abogados, loterías y apuestas del Estado. Apuestan por el deporte. Event sponsor de la Copa del Mundo Baloncesto Femenino FIBA 2018. Gracias, chicos.
曾有诗云：“人生得意须尽欢，莫使金樽空对月。”无论苦乐喜悲，唯有酣饮才够痛快。每一次举杯，都是向收获的一切致敬。丰收葡萄酒，庆祝每一次丰收之乐。让我们畅享丰收时刻。
水中贵族，百岁山。
TCL-C6 UHD-TV. Una imagen excepcional merece un sonido excepcional.
Japan find themselves in a 39-21 hole against host Spain here at the FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup in Tenerife. I mean, it started pretty well for Japan. They actually led the game. They were causing some problems. Mizushima was going to work. And then all of a sudden, Japan just kind of ground to a halt, and Spain shifted into a higher gear. And 39 points on the board for Spain is not too bad. And, well, showing us what they're made of, really, and seeing some nice plays from players like Arroyo, for example. Casas making some plays.
Laura Gil.
But really, Jargai, you know, her quality play for me has been the real difference.
Speaking of the devil, you know, and Jargai's a shooter. Everyone who knows that, she's a shooter. But I think you have to pay notice to her defense also. We saw her at a time having to guard the post for Japan, and she did great. I mean, she did. You wouldn't have known that she was undersized, playing out of her position. So we give a lot of credit to her offense, but she's just such an all-around player to me. She's one of the best players for them so far in this game, easily.
Well, she's got the pedigree, doesn't she? I mean, she's played at the highest level everywhere.
Yeah, you know, she has a EuroLeague title under her belt. Obviously, silver from Rio, gold from last summer at the Eurobasket.
WNBA.
She was there, WNBA. She was there in 2014 for them. She's been around. She is definitely a veteran for them now, and she brings so much. I mean, Lucas Mandello can rely on her for whatever he needs, really.
I think she's probably the first player that he writes into his squad every summer right now.
Yeah,
And
I mean, you know, they've had the staples, obviously, but Marta Chargai's name's got to be 1-2 up there. Obviously, Laura Nichols, I think she just plays her role so well for Spain. I mean, she doesn't force anything. She's not a big scorer, but she does everything. You should really, if you kind of watch the little things that Laura Nichols does, I love it. I love her game. And then, of course, Alba Torrens, kind of their MVP. She's sort of, you know, she's the scorer of the group. We haven't really seen her much today. She only played 5 minutes. Not sure if something's going on or.
I think that one shot that she attempted that was ridiculous on the break. Do you remember?
Yeah.
She just kind of like threw it over the backboard with her back to the basket.
Yeah.
I almost wonder if Mandello is just saying, listen, you need to get a little bit of control in your game.
I mean, maybe she has a little jitters. You're playing at home. You're playing at home in a World Cup. First game of the tournament for you. No surprise. And maybe that's what we've seen from this Japan team. First game jitters, because they know they're better than they were 2 years ago in Rio. You know, 2 years before that at the World Cup in Turkey. They're better than they were then. So maybe it's a little bit, I know they had no pressure going into this game, but maybe they put pressure on themselves a little bit, and it's making them not play their style. Let's put it that way.
Interesting, you know, we were talking about, Canada played Japan in the build-up, and they were on top of them big time, weren't they? And Japan came back.
You know, Canada had a good, I think it was 20-odd point lead. I mean, a good 20-point lead. And Japan made 7 threes in the third quarter, and that lead was just cut down. So they're capable. And we just saw Japan right before this. So we saw what kind of defense Japan can do. They held Greece to 50 points. So Canada can play defense. So for Japan to be able to come out that third quarter, set the tone, narrow the gap. They ended up losing, but still, they're very capable of scoring and scoring fast.
Second half action underway here in Tenerife. Spain leading 39-21 over Japan. That was an interesting little exhibition there right before the start of the second half from Japan. We're going to have to investigate that. I don't know if you saw it, but horrible start for Japan offensively.
And I don't know if you noticed, but Spain actually came out pretending that they were in a 1-2-2 zone, or 3-2, however you want to call it. And then after the first or second pass by Japan, they went to man. So maybe that confused Japan a little bit. They started to run their offense, and then, you know, started to run a zone offense, realized that they weren't in a zone.
Cruz, and then a no-look pass from Nichols to Endor.
And as to Endor, she wasn't with the team last year. Actually, Sancho Little was then. Sancho Little has been also kind of, you know, a face of this national team program. She has retired from the national team program. So before Astu was around, she was in training camps. She would participate in exhibition games, but you can only have one.
Wow. I don't know what's more incredible, that Mawuli didn't get an offensive a charge called, or the fact that she missed the shot.
So yeah, you can only have one naturalized player. Astu Endor is that. Sancho Little was that before, but Sancho Little broke her, what was it, hand right before the Rio Olympics?
Yeah.
So they replaced her. She broke it in the WNBA. She was supposed to go with them to Rio. Astu Endor went instead, and I believe the woman averaged about 15 points a game. So she was a big part of them coming home with the silver medal from Rio.
Cruz missing, good box out from Mawuli. Kata. Well, where would this Japan team be with Tokashiki? Miyazawa, three-pointer. Rev up the engines, here come the Japanese.
Do you feel like we might have to count the threes in this quarter from Japan?
Well, if they duplicate that. Torrens. Jargai. Wow, what was that? 2-on-2 break. Miyazawa, 5 consecutive points for Japan, and now they're awake. And again, the hands from Miyazawa, but then the pass from Mawuli wasn't quite there. Jargai, bounce pass, 4-point swing.
Yeah, really. I mean, great steal, and then just not a smart pass led to a turnover, and that's something Japan has to really worry about, is their turnovers. They had 13 at half. You're not going to beat Spain if you're going to average 26 turnovers for the game.
Well, that was another opportunity. Orohashi, Endor travels.
And you saw, you know, I think it was a great pass, but again, Endor kind of brought the ball down. She didn't dribble this time, but she brought the ball down, and I think it just gives the Japanese an opportunity to collapse.
Well, Laia Palau didn't look too stressed over there on the bench, did she? She's just kind of savoring this.
I think she's going to savor every game in this tournament.
Could be known as the Laia Palau World Cup. We'll see. Mawuli. Takada. Certainly we're seeing better play from Japan.
Yeah, we are, and I didn't expect them to have the kind of 20 minutes that they had in the first half. Like I said, I think we're going to see them improve every game as this tournament goes on.
That's better from Endor. See how she held the ball up? Miyazawa to Takada. Takada, and 2 shots. So I think, you know, Japan aren't big, but I don't think that Spain are necessarily that big either, really.
I mean, Astu's not short, let's put it that way.
She's not.
She's not a big, she's skinny.
What is the rebounding situation right now? 23, yeah, they were out rebounding them 23-16. And again, you know, you bring Takashiki. Apparently she's got an ankle injury, although heard some other things, but that's kind of the reports.
Tokashiki, Ramu Tokashiki, she is their WNBA player.
Well,
they don't have a lot of them.
She was the MVP of the 2013-2015 FIBA Asia Championships,
Yep.
played at the Olympics. But
so maybe they are, and she is a post player. And I would say Japan's weakest area is the post. They're just not deep in the post. Don't get me wrong, I actually think the posts that are playing right now are doing a great job. They're holding their own.
Yeah.
But they are short.
Yeah. Palau. And Laura Gil gets, that's another Laura Gil play.
I feel like the broken nose just kind of emphasizes what kind of a player she is for Lucas Mandello. She will get into it. She does the nitty-gritty. She's ready to fight and do whatever this team needs. I love her as a player. I think, you know, maybe she's a little underrated because she's not a big scorer, but she really, as a coach, you must just love to have someone like her on your team.
Indoor. Nice follow through, and that's a basket again that Japan are perhaps guilty of just giving away. Should have come down with that rebound. Wow. Number 24, Mika Fujitaka.
How quick was that shot? I mean, that release. Good job by the point guard. She kind of looked off at her post player who rolled, pass fake to her, drawing Marta Chargai and leaving her guard open.
Laura Gil.
Just said she wasn't a big scorer. I think she heard me and was like, no, I can score too, Shona.
Is she going to take on Indoor? No, she's going to pass it back. Okoye goes in and banks it in.
I mean, I think they have so many penetration opportunities because they are such great three-point shooters. And you see Astu Endor, you see Laura Nichols when she's on, Laura Gil. They have to go out and respect the post players from three.
Oh, look at Palau. Interesting, you know, she kind of senses the need for a basket. Oh, quickly to the other end, Motohashi. Japan definitely like to push the ball up the floor quickly. And another basket for Laura Gil, becoming a factor here in the third quarter. Wonder if Fujitaka's going to have another look. Oh, bounce pass to Takada. Indoor was lucky, I think, to get away with a foul there. She reached up and tugged on Takada as she went past. This is Gil. She's open.
I mean, even if she's not a scorer, you can't leave anyone that open.
No.
You know, free throw line extended. It's an easy two for a lot of people to make at this level.
Motohashi, good read from Torrens. Chance of España in Tenerife. Three-point attempt is good. Fujitaka.
Is that her third in this quarter?
Well, she has been utterly sensational from long range. I think it is.
I think it is 3 for 3, and they're all this quarter. I mean, she's only played 7 minutes so far in this game. Coach keeps his secrets locked up.
Well, I don't know about you, Shona, but I'm kind of glad that we're doing this game and not the other one tonight. Belgium on top of Puerto Rico, coming up to halftime, 46-3. That is incredible.
That's
now make it 47-3.
Check out the box score for those of you who are interested. So Puerto Rico is only 1 for 36. We thought Argentina had a rough night.
Well, you got the USA and you got Canada flying the flag high for the Americas, but after that, you really have to wonder about what's going on over in that part of the world.
And Belgium have 9 turnovers and 48 points before half. So clearly something's going well for them. 32 rebounds total at half. Wow.
Well, coming out of the timeout. Palau chases it down, behind the back pass to Gill. A little bit of showtime. Okoye. Torrens for 3. There she is. Alba Torrens has arrived at the party.
Yeah, you know, we only saw her 5 minutes in the first.
Go back and look at that last possession for Japan. You've got Fujitaka, who is absolutely on fire, and Okoye takes that jump shot.
Yeah, you know.
Fujitaka doesn't
and
even
it was
get
an
a touch.
early jump shot.
Yeah.
So maybe a little ill-advised.
Here's Torrens' 3.
Basically, you got to get the ball in the hot hand.
Yeah.
If you're Japan.
I mean, right now she's in another zone. Look at the behind-the-back pass. That is Laya Palau.
I was just going to say, that is just Laya Palau playing Laya Palau basketball. And her team know how to play with her, you know?
Oh. Is that foul on Takata? It is. There it is. Watch what she does. So she takes it. Well, she kind of turned into.
You know, I think the Spanish basketball team maybe take some advice from their Spanish soccer team, and they know how to exaggerate a little bit on some calls. Possibly.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't look that bad. 18-point game. Izawa, and you see the problem as Takata gets in. The problem when you dig yourselves such a big hole, 18 points, even when you go on a big run and you get it down to 11, you're still down by 11 points.
Yeah.
And, you know, and all it takes is like a couple of plays, and the next thing you know, you're trailing once again by 18. Well, Jargai and Lauda Nichols just kind of reaches over. Oh, touch pass, Nichols, Izawa. That would have brought the house down. Nichols commits to foul. I think really one of the unsung heroes in the Spain team over the years has been Laura Nichols. She is solid.
She is. She flies under the radar. She's not the kind of person that after a game you're going to look at a stat sheet and really, she won't blow your mind. But if you watch the game and you know basketball, you understand why she is one of the most important people on this Spanish basketball team and has been for quite a few years now.
Motohashi, little reverse. Boy, they've got that play down pat, don't they? Now back to 16 points, the deficit. 109 remaining here in the third quarter. Arrojo played very well in the first half. Palau for 3. It's good.
I think really this might, like you said, might become the Laya Palau tournament. Her last big bang, maybe?
Yeah. Foul call. I don't know about you, Shona, but that must be the most beautiful bride I've ever seen in my life. Wearing the yellow here in the stands. cheering for Spain. Look at this follow-through.
And, you know, Laia Palau last year winning gold at Eurobasket. She only averaged 3 points a game for them. She already has 9. She's capable of scoring.
Yeah.
Because we've seen her make big basket after big basket when Spain needed. But she's not a scorer. She's not really a shooter. That's not what she likes to do.
That would have been tempting to go out on the back of a title, wouldn't it? But you got a chance to play in a World Cup in your homeland. You got to do it.
You can't say no. I mean, I might even come out of retirement.
Did you see Team Palau there? Her family cheering her on? I'm venturing to say I don't know that. Well, there are going to be a lot of talking points after the opening day. How good Nigeria potentially are. How Liz Cambage played today. The good, the bad. How, you know, now this Japan and Spain team. Look at Spain. And then Laia Palau is upset. Nobody came back to help her.
And you know what? When Laia Palau yells at you, you listen and you do what she tells you to do. Here's your point guard checking in. Let's see if Fujioka, can get some things going.
Well,
I mean, you're the one who saw her. You've seen her more than I have, so.
Fujioka, yeah. Well, the player that's captured the imagination in this game for Japan is this one, Fujitaka.
And all her points have come in the second half. Keep that in mind.
Wow. Final minute of the third quarter. Manami Fujioka, can she have some impact here? I thought she was born for a game like this. Seriously. Arroyo, shot clock winding down, hands it off. Beatriz Sanchez, and able to get it back, and then Fujioka commits a foul. That is the third team foul on Japan. Oh, they're saying shot clock had already expired, I think.
Yeah, I think that's what they went with.
Did they not hit the rim, or are they
on
saying
the layup?
they didn't get
We'll see the crowd does not like that call. Maybe
they do
we'll
not.
See a replay. Nope, they're going to let us play.
11.3 seconds left. This is a big possession here for Japan. There's Goran.
So I think there's a little bit of discussion about how much time is left on the game clock.
Goran Radonjic, the commissioner. He knows what's going on. He's going to sort it.
Well, that's why commissioners are here, right? They're kind of overseeing everything, right?
There's never a doubt that this guy knows what's going on. He's one of the most respected. So he's going to get it sorted out. He's to be a great referee.
And for those of you who have aspirations of being referees, so FIBA referees, they actually retire at the age of 50.
Yep.
And then a lot of them go on to become commissioners, or, you know, are in charge after and teach.
Here's the final seconds, kicking off the clock of the third quarter. Takada gets it, and a basket. Wow. Oh, this is Laia Palau. That's a specialty. She's done that more than once or twice in her career, hit those shots.
Well, you know, when you've been playing as long as she has,
True.
You have a lot of opportunities. I mean, I'm going to imagine she probably became pro at 20.
61-48, Spain on top after 3. So digest those numbers, folks. 54% of that's inside the arc for Spain, 52 for Japan. Three-point shooting, see the difference there. It's marginally better, really, in all statistical categories.
Yeah, I think, that this was kind of the quarter for Japan. Spain gave up 27 points. We knew Japan was capable of a quarter like this. They still let Spain score 22, and that's why Spain is up right now, 13 points. But, I mean, Japan's exciting. I think if they had been able to even put half a quarter like that together in the first or second quarter, the score will be a lot closer right now.
Well, we have indeed seen everybody for Spain tonight. So Torrance getting more minutes. Sylvia Dominguez is the only player that hasn't played, which is surprising. I thought she had played, but she hasn't come out yet.
Yeah, not sure if something's going on. I mean, I know I did watch. She did warm up. Saw her after halftime. She did warm up with the team too right before the third quarter. So not sure if they're just trying to give more of an opportunity to Laia Palau, Cristina Ubiña. I mean, even Marta Chargai can play one for them. So who knows? Or maybe there's something going on and we don't know and they want to rest her.
Tom Havas is bemused with that call on Takada. So that turns it right back over to Spain. Lauda Gil hands it off to Indoor. And, I'm going to have to take back what I said about Japan. I mean, they really are, even when they've got position, are struggling to get those rebounds.
And, they box out, but they are just that much shorter, kind of.
Yeah.
They
I mean,
are.
how many times have you seen a Spain player like that, Jargai, reach over?
Yeah, we saw, Lauda Gil did it, Lauda Nichols did it for them. I mean, it's happened quite a few times. So maybe, Japan needs to work on strength. You're boxing out, you really got to move them back.
Jargai held her head like she got hit in the forehead. And then she just went right in and made the shot. But a foul, I think, has been called on Spain. Is it Indoor? Yeah, for pushing off. So watch this.
Here. So the basket does count because it was before the foul. And then I think Astu Endor was fighting underneath and maybe
Takada.
things got a little chippy.
Yeah. Look at Jargai pressuring the ball. Yeah, so she did foul Takada. Koye goes hard to the basket. Went to the right hand. Good defense from Fujitaka. And Jargai then reaches in and commits the foul.
Only her second personal foul, so that's kind of a smart foul, Maybe a little frustrated that she turned the ball over, but at least it slowed Japan down.
And there's Fujioka. Well, first glimpse of her speed and being able to get to the rim. And maybe this will be her quarter. Well, Japan certainly need it to be that way. Indoor open for three. Here she is again. Fujioka corrals the rebound. Looks up the floor. Makes the killer pass. Takada. Fujitaka. Now Manami Fujioka. Okoye. Spin cycle. This time blocked by the rim.
The Laveria, also known as a laundromat, must be closed.
Oh, Casas goes behind her back to get away from Fujioka. And now this triggers a break. Good play by Japan. Miyazawa goes in and back to an 11-point game. The team from the land of the rising sun are not going to go quietly, it seems. Uvina for three. Oh, that's going to take some of the air out of the balloon for Japan. Okoye takes a three, gets it right back.
I mean, that was off of a made basket, and they scored within, what, 6 seconds?
6 seconds, yes.
Off of a made basket.
Still plenty of time for Japan. Still plenty of work for Spain to close this thing out. Uvina banks it in. Well, that was an important deposit. And now the reach by Uvina causing problems for Fujioka.
You know, I saw Laia Palau, she was about to check in, and I think for Uvina, and after Uvina just made that basket, Lucas Mondello.
Oh, what a pass.
Oh, wow.
And Okoye missed the layup.
Lucas Mondello looked at Palau and said, nah, go sit back down. We're gonna let Uvina ride this out.
Traveling on Uvina.
So now Palau's coming in again.
Uvina, yes.
Uvina.
Casas also going out. Cruz comes back in. Fujitaka short that
That was
time.
on the mark, though. I mean, you got to cool off at some point, right?
Yeah. There's the pass to Jarguy. Then she tries to hand it off to Laura Nichols, but it goes out of bounds. Still time, 5:40 for Japan, but they've got to get baskets now. They could do with another three-pointer from Fujitaka.
Yeah, I don't think it's time to panic just because.
Mawuli's in now. And Palau thinks, she's barging into me. Why are you calling me for the foul?
But you know what? I think that's a horrible defense by Spain. They just weren't ready to play. I mean, that was an inbounds down here around the hash mark. They threw it from there to Mawuli in the corner. Well, where are you?
Slow to get back. Makes the first, so 12-point game. Only makes one of two. Good box out by Nichols. Oh, beautiful pass to Gill.
And they knew right away that's what they were going to do. I mean, Laura Nichols knew she was going to get the ball. She was going to make that pass long before the play even started.
Fujioka. Miyazawa, three-pointer. They're just not going away, folks. Japanese fans hoping. Cruz, three-pointer, right back for Spain.
And you know, you kind of feel like Japan make a big move, big step. Spain always have an answer right now, and that's why they're ranked #2 in the world, sorry. That's why they have high hopes of possibly knocking off the US if they meet in the final or before that. I mean, this Spanish team, every time a very good Japanese team makes a run, they have an answer for it. They really do, and that's what great teams do.
Well, see the points in the paint, 60% for Spain, 48% for this Japanese team. You know, if they hadn't had that one bad quarter, Japan, I mean, it was really what? It was a bad first half, really.
It was a bad first half. I was shocked to see them playing like this, to be honest. I didn't think they were anything like they showed in the first 20 minutes of this game. So, you know, look at that. Second chance points, 2-13 for Spain. So clearly Spain are doing a good job. They're rebounding. They're giving themselves options to score again. And I think this is where you see Japan. They're just smaller. They're shorter. They don't have as many second chance points. It's difficult. If you're, you know, missing shots, you got to get second chance points. You got to get steals. Spain's never going to turn the ball over a lot. That's just characteristically, that's not the way you're going to beat them. They have a bunch of turnovers tonight, but you also need something else to do.
That was a big three for Cruz. He's only got 6 points tonight, but now how can Japan, they've gone to a different plan here. Fujioka gets inside, and boy, she really had nowhere to go, just flung it up underneath the basket.
You know, and I think it was the right call. We'll probably see on a replay here. But Lauda Nichols is smart enough. She should have just let her go because she wasn't going to score that. It was pretty good defense. She got her under the basket, like you said. But she just sort of bodied her at the end, didn't let her land.
And what about, it's interesting that, you know, we expected Fujioka to be this player for the whole game. And then it's like, well, obviously she's fallen into the pecking order. Something's not right. And here she is playing the whole fourth quarter.
Yeah, only played 11 minutes for them so far. You know, this is a woman who averaged 8.2 assists,
At the Asia
11 points last year. And you said she was just incredible, right?
Oh, yeah. She was the
And
blur.
she came out.
She was the blur. Now she's come out. Yep, interesting. Well, she might come back. Full court pressure. Uviña. Back to Palau. It's a 12-point game. Cruz open. Good box out again by Mawuli. Nemoto now. Fujitaka not in the game, and Mawuli goes in and scores with the left hand and draws the foul. And that, my friends, was one heck of a move. Showed great strength, and to finish with the left hand, being guarded. Look at this.
I mean, this Japanese team, they're not going away. And the best thing that you can do when you're down is either make threes or make baskets with the shot clock stopped, so you're not wasting time. And that's what you got to do. You got to get to the free throw line, and that's what they're doing right now.
Spain called timeout. Clearly need to make an adjustment.
Yeah, you know, we're not too surprised by that. 3 offensive rebounds for Japan, 10 for Spain. That's something I think they're going to have to work on. And this kind of surprises me. 18 turnovers for Spain. It shows how aggressive Japan are, especially in the guard position. 17 turnovers for Japan, and they had 13 at half. So they've only had 4 since the second quarter. That's obviously was an emphasis at halftime for coach. And I think that's why they've been able to creep back. They protected the ball. You know, they're not giving themselves second chances. So what do you have to do? You have to get steals, and you have to not turn the ball over. You have to give yourself the best opportunity to score. And if you turn the ball over, you don't even get a shot opportunity. So I think they've done a lot better job with that in the second half. I'm a big, big fan of this Japanese team. The first half was not what I expected.
Yeah, me
Second,
neither.
this is what I expected.
Yeah.
And they were, coming into this, they were, my dark horse to be on the podium.
Yeah.
I believe that now. If you asked me in the first half, I might have changed my mind.
Well, they scrap and they get the ball back. And wow, they get another 2 points.
How many times have we seen her do that tonight? That little kind of reverse protect. She is so short, so she probably has to protect the ball with her body.
Nako Motohashi gets it to 9 points, the deficit. The closest they've been for the entire second half. When in doubt, give it to Laya Palau. And Laya Palau follows up her own miss. New 14, hands it off to Gill. And Mawuli having to contend with Uvinya. Motohashi again, bounce pass Takata. 2 shots for Takata and the clock stops. .306 to go.
And that was a huge offensive rebound by
What a
Laya
pass.
Palau. We see a beautiful pass from
Yeah.
Palau to Gill. But it all started with her offensive rebound.
Yep.
I mean, we have Japan at the free throw line, exactly what they wanted to do, but they could be at the free throw line not down 11, only down 9. Cut that off, then they're only down 7. So that was a huge offensive rebound. Beautiful pass to a cutting Laura Gill for 2 points for Spain.
Well, at the free throw line tonight, Japan have done pretty well. 9 of 11. You're not going to complain about that. I think both misses by Mawuli, right?
Yep. Yeah, 1 for 3 for Mawuli. Typically, good shooting teams
Full court
are also
pressure.
good free throw shooting teams.
Full court pressure. And broken nicely. Well, Jargai, she's not going to wait around. She is going to drill it from the corner. Motohashi. Nagaoka. And now it looks like it's going to be difficult.
Marta Chargai, 15 points, 7 to 10 shooting. If it's not Laya Palau, my MVP of this game would be Marta Chargai.
Yeah, that's just a quality play, and I'm really, it's interesting, isn't it? But if you're Lucas Mondello, you need to have the 5 players on the court. You need to identify who's going to be best for the situation, for the occasion. And it's interesting how Torrens is not really in there, as well as Dominguez. But who would you take out? And look at Nichols. Mawuli.
I don't know, maybe Dominguez, she's the 3rd point guard, the 3rd option for them, or maybe something is going on and they want to rest her today. Who knows, maybe she's not feeling well, maybe she's injured.
True.
Or maybe, Mondello, Dominguez has been around for a while. She has a lot of hardware as well. So maybe you just, you go with Palau and you go with Uvinya. And I think Uvinya is an absolutely great point guard. I really do. She's one of my favorite point guards in the European game right now. So I don't disagree with his decision right now.
Yeah. She's tall, she attacks the basket.
Strong, can hold her on, very tough on defense. She can pick up, she can stop people on defense, and she can also score.
Well, there she makes both free throws. And back to an 11-point game, but now just 2 minutes to go. Ovinia pulls up. And maybe not a shot. They got away with it with Jargai.
Because
there
she
she misses.
it.
And Motohashi drives all the way in and gets it now back.
I think that was a little too early of a shot for me. You know, you're up, you got to use the clock. Right now, the clock is in their favor.
Ovinia again. Now over to Miyazawa. Still a long ways to go here for Japan, but Okoye drives in.
I mean, keep in mind, we're, you know, as the French call this, money time of the game. And you have Okoye in. She's 19 years old.
That's right. Indoor, another youngster. Drills it at the line.
I think we will definitely be seeing her in Tokyo 2020.
Well, 24 years of age. I mean, I think it's encouraging for Japan that they've come back and made Spain work for this. And, you know, in all respects, they've gotten better in this game. Bench scoring included. Second chance points. And also, you know, they're building towards the Olympics. So imagine how good they will be when the Tokyo Games are held in front of their own crowd.
Yeah, and keep in mind, I mean, this team wants to do something that they haven't done before. But they're also really planning for 2020.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, they've been doing that since they were awarded
the
Olympics, what, four years ago now,
yeah.
I think, around. So they have been building towards Tokyo 2020, and this is a very important summer for them, I think, to evaluate where they are in the world. But their main goal is 2 years from now. 100% their main goal is 2 years from now. If they can get as far as they can, they're going to. If they can get on the podium, of course that's what they want to do. But it is thinking ahead. It's going with a young player like Okoye at the end of the game, because you know you're going to be relying on her in 2 years from now, where she's going to be 2 years older, 21 years old. Muali also, who's 23 years old. I think this is a great move by coach.
Motohashi gets inside. She traveled. So Spain inside the final minute. And is that the crowning blow? Yes, it is. Nope, not yet. But Japan race up the floor, trailing by 11. Mawuli. That should do it. Now the pass to Jargai, and Mawuli going for the ball. Nothing untoward there. Just Jargai goes down.
I mean, she was a little off balance when she caught the ball. I don't think it was an intentional. She didn't try and hurt her. See, it was a difficult catch for her. And I mean, we had the opportunity to review the play, and you know that she was going for the ball. You see Astu here. She's just padding her stats. If she had finally made 2, she really had 3 offensive rebounds, 2 points.
Now, what's going to be interesting is when these teams play tomorrow, Japan are going to play against Belgium. Now that will be a good game. And Spain are going to play Puerto Rico. That could get ugly. They're losing 70-16 right now to Belgium.
End of the third. I might guess that Puerto Rico is the team that's not going to move on just from these scores. But, you know, let's talk about this Japan team. In this third quarter, they've scored 27 points. So far in the fourth, they have 22. Japan scored 22 in the third, 20 in the fourth. So they won the second half.
Yeah, they got
Japan
something they
just
can build
had, they had 10 points in the first, 11 in the second. So clearly they had a horrible first half. And you kind of, it's disappointing.
But tell me this, who goes in with the advantage tomorrow against Belgium? Belgium are just cruising, hardly being tested by Puerto Rico.
Is Belgium
Japan,
that good, or is Puerto Rico that bad?
Yeah, and I think it's probably a mixture of both. They're not quite that good, but yes, Puerto Rico aren't that good either. That's pretty obvious. Well, the steal. And Palau comes down, and then Ana Cruz. You know, you're also talking about point differential, goal differential. I mean, I don't think, I can't see Spain losing to Belgium. You know, but they could, and then there's potential of a three-way tie. And that's why Hovas wants to get this deficit down as far as possible. Uviña puts up the last one, and that is that. Spain are going to win it convincingly, 84-70. In some respects, I guess that's probably about a fair reflection of the game. 84-70, Spain off to a winning start. Japan faced a huge deficit and came back and battled, but they lose on opening night. Well, I think that was definitely worth the price of admission. Take away about, 12 minutes or so of that first half. That was an excellent basketball game, and probably a good win for Spain. As you look at their numbers, they really shot it well from deep in the end. But that rebounding advantage for Spain was quite decisive in the end. And you're not going to win the tournament on the opening night, but for Spain, they did not want to start with a loss in front of their home crowd. As you look at the leading scorers on the night.
And you know, being Spain, you also want to, it's very important to kind of get that first win out of the way and set the tone for the rest of the tournament. Chargai, I thought, was absolutely great tonight. She was their leading scorer, but I think she was their leading defensive player as well.
Yeah, a lot to like about Spain, and I suppose, you know, all is not lost for Japan. And they want to come here and they want to get something from this tournament. They'd love to get to the podium. And, you know, on the evidence, I mean, they're in the mix, in my opinion, of advancing to the quarterfinals. And I don't think this is a team that really anybody would like to play.
No, it's not someone you want to cross over with. You're nervous if you're crossing over with Japan, even if you kind of have the higher seed. Let's say Japan lose to Belgium and finish the group third. I'm really nervous if I'm the second team in Group C, because these guys are scary. I mean,
I don't see them losing to Belgium.
They won
really
the second half. They won 20 minutes of this game. So this score is definitely not a good reflection of this Japanese team.
I know Belgium were great. You know, they got third place at the Eurobasket Women last year. I think that they are just far better than Puerto Rico tonight, and I think you know, it's the same scenario that we face with Nigeria. They are going to have to come off a tough loss against Australia, where they played well for the majority of the game, and go up against a Turkey team that beat an Argentina team that honestly wasn't that great. So who has the advantage? Is it the team that already has an easy win under their belt, perhaps have been able to rest some players, or is it a team that maybe has gained some confidence against a superpower, basically? Because you would have to say,
you know, if I'm Japan right now, I'm going to be very disappointed with our opening 20 minutes. But I'm also going to turn around and going to say, we beat the #2 team in the world in the second half.
yeah,
We showed, I mean, the first 20 minutes wasn't horrible, but they showed 25 minutes of exciting, great basketball.
yeah.
It was just that 15 minutes of uncharacteristic basketball.
So these are the standings right now. 1-0 Spain, 0-1 Japan. Belgium will go ahead and win that game that they're playing over Puerto Rico. So they will move into second place. And Puerto Rico will be down at the bottom since they're on the receiving end. So that does it for us for the opening day here in Tenerife. What a joy. We've got more games coming your way. Spain win it 84-70. We'll see you tomorrow.